Hello everyone, my name is DİNA BEDİK. I work as PhD student in Istanbul University Cerrahpaşa, Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, Department of Veterinary Biochemistry. I'm gonna mention about a comparative review of molecular and biochemical methods used in the diagnosis of feline infectious peritonitis. Here you can see my presentation plan. Let's start with the short information about feline infectious peritonitis. Feline infectious peritonitis, commonly called FIP, is a serious and generally fatal viral disease affecting domestic and wild cats. It arises from a mutation of feline coronavirus into a pathogenic form. While FICO typically causes mild or asymptomatic infections in the gastrointestinal tract, its mutation leads to FIP, which significantly affects the cat's immune system. The pathogenesis of FIP is complex and involves replication of the virus within the cat's macrophages and overactivation of the immune system. The production of immune complexes and excessive release of pro-inflammatory cytokines contribute to the systemic and often fatal outcome of the disease. This excessive immune response affects both the cellular and humoral immune systems, leading to multi-organ involvement. FIP presents in two main clinical forms. First form, wet effusive form, characterized by the accumulation of fluid in the abdominal or thoracic cavities. This fluid is typically high in the protein content and inflammatory cells, making the wet form a rapidly progressive and fatal manifestation of the disease. The second form, dry, non-effusive form, marked by granuloma formation and localized inflammation in organs. Neurological symptoms and ocular involvement are common clinical findings. The diagnosis of FIP is based on clinical signs, laboratory findings, and often histopathologic examination. However, as FIP can imitate other infections and inflammatory disease, it's difficult to make a definitive diagnosis. Therefore, molecular and biochemical methods play a crucial role in ensuring the correct diagnosis. Let's start with biochemical methods which use to evaluate the inflammatory and immune responses that are characteristic of FIP. Although these methods are not specific to FIP and can give similar results in other inflammatory conditions, they provide insight into the systemic effects of the disease. Albumin-globulin ratio. FIP-positive cats typically exhibit elevated globulin and decreased albumin levels. An AG ratio below 0.4 is highly suggestive of FIP, although this alone is not sufficient for diagnosis and must be supported by other tests. Acute phase proteins. Acute phase proteins are produced by the liver in response to inflammation and represent the severity of the immune response. Alpha-1 acid-glycoprotein levels above 3 mg/ml are a strong indicator of FIP, while serum amyloid A rises rapidly in response to inflammation, particularly in the wet form of FIP. Revolta tests. This test is often used to evaluate the nature of the fluid in the effusive form of FIP. FIP effusion is typically exudative, characterized by high protein content and low cell count. A positive Revolta test indicates the effusion may be associated with FIP. Adenosine deaminase. Adenosine deaminase activity, which is typically reduced in FIP-positive cats, indicates impaired T cell function and immune suppression. Ferritin. Elevated ferritin levels in FIP reflect the inflammatory process and iron metabolism disorders. Lactate dehydrogenase and creatine kinase. Lactate dehydrogenase and creatine kinase levels are indicators of tissue damage, particularly in neurological FIP cases. Especially, creatine kinase elevation reflects muscle and neurological damage. Now, let's move on to molecular methods. Molecular methods for diagnosing FIP focus on the direct detection of viral RNA, providing high specificity and sensitivity even in the early stage of the disease. These methods are particularly valuable for identifying the virus genetic material and specific mutations. Our first molecular method is reverse transcriptase polymerase chain reaction, RT-PCR. Widely used for detecting fecal RNA, this test is especially useful in the evasive form of FIP, where viral RNA can be detected in pleural or abdominal fluids. However, fecal positivity does not always confirm FIP, as not all fecal carriers develop the disease. Thus, RT-PCR must be corroborated by clinical findings. Second method is real-time RT-PCR, qRT-PCR. This method quantitatively detects fecal RNA and provides viral load counts. High viral loads are often indicative of FIP. In addition, qRT-PCR can identify viral mutations such as the spike protein, which is critical to distinguish FIP from other forms of fecal infection. Our third method is droplet digital PCR, ddPCR. It offers higher sensitivity and quantitative accuracy compared to conventional PCR. ddPCR can detect very low viral loads, making it particularly useful in early-stage FIP cases. The fourth one is sequence analysis. Directly identifies mutations in the fecal genome, with mutations in the spike protein and 3C gene playing a key role in the virus transformation into FIP. Sequencing is valuable for detecting FIP-specific mutations. The last one, CRISPR-based methods. Though not yet widely used in clinical practice, CRISPR technology offers high sensitivity by specifically targeting fecal RNA. CRISPR-based diagnostics hold promise for future use in FIP diagnosis due to their ability to quickly and accurately identify viral genetic material. Now, let's compare molecular and biochemical methods. Molecular methods, particularly advanced techniques such as qRT-PCR and ddPCR, offer high sensitivity and specificity by directly detecting viral RNA. These methods are reliable even in the early stage of the disease. In contrast, biochemical methods assess inflammatory process and immune response, but lack the specificity required for a definitive FIP diagnosis. Biochemical tests are more affordable and provide quicker results, making them more accessible in clinical settings. However, molecular methods, though more costly and requiring specialized equipment, are crucial for early and accurate diagnosis. Biochemical methods alone cannot definitely diagnose FIP, as similar results may be seen in the other inflammatory diseases. Molecular methods, on the other hand, confirm the presence of viral RNA, but do not directly evaluate the clinical severity or progression of the disease. Hence, the combination of both molecular and biochemical methods is necessary for a comprehensive diagnosis. Molecular techniques play a critical role in identifying viral mutations and understanding the genetic underpinning of FIP. Biochemical methods, meanwhile, are essential for evaluating the systemic effects of inflammation and providing insight into the clinical status of the cat. In conclusion, the most reliable diagnostic outcomes for FIP are achieved by combining molecular and biochemical methods. Molecular techniques provide definitive early-stage diagnosis by directly detecting viral presence, while biochemical methods offer insights into the inflammatory response and systemic manifestations of the disease. Molecular diagnostics, particularly those targeting viral mutations, are critical for ensuring accurate FIP diagnosis and understanding the viral load. In contrast, biochemical methods are valuable for assessing the severity of inflammation and organ involvement. Thus, the combined use of both approaches provides a more comprehensive and accurate diagnosis, allowing for the identification of FIP at various stages of the disease and facilitating better understanding of its progression. Thank you for your attention.